Nigeria's Inspector General of Police, Mr. Adegboruwa, has issued guidelines for August 1st planned nationwide protests by some Nigerians. The IGP issued the guidelines while addressing newsmen in the nation's capital, Abuja. He said the protesters must provide details of their proposed route, assembling point, duration of the protest, names and contacts of protest leaders and organizers. The protest against economic hardship, which is gaining traction on social media, has been scheduled to hold across all states of the Federation, as well as the nation's capital in August. Well, joining me on the program this evening is ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, is the Force Public Relations Officer. Thank you for your time, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, Nigerians. How are you?
All right. Let's start off with the guidelines issued by the IGP concerning this protest. I mean, part of the details which we understand is details of the proposed route, the assembly point, duration, and of course, names and contact, which has elicited quite a lot of reaction. Is there an update to this?
Yes. Landlord Sec Ebun Adegboruwa SA wrote to the office of the Inspector General of Police, and on that premise, we invited him and the group he represents to a meeting. It was to hold today at the Force Secretary's office in Australia. About early this morning, he sent in another letter to inform the IGP that he will prefer to have virtual meetings so that a large number of people can be on the conference meeting, virtual meeting. And we had the meeting today, I think around 4 p.m. this evening. We had in the virtual meeting, Mr. Femi, Falana, another prominent practitioners, leaders, but I think members of Take It Back movement, they were there, the conference, had discussions also on many areas, particularly the area concerning the information the IGP requested for, the police requested for. That is to know the leaders of any group that want to come out, to know the location, possibly the period of time, and anywhere they want to follow. But the IGP laid emphasis on the intelligence gathering that we gathered concerning the possibility of some criminally minded elements who may want to infiltrate the protest and cause problem. We discussed this, and the IGP tell them of this intelligence. And the IGP went further to advise them not at least to avoid street procession, because when you have procession, you won't know those who are going to join your train. The IGP advised that they have indicated places to have the assembly of the protest, and the IGP advised them to stick to these places, to be confined to these places, so that they will avoid unnecessary street procession, which may attract those who are not even members of their movement in any way. There are arguments on some issues, and at the end of the day, the IGP was able to tell them they should liaise with their various commissioners of police in those states they have indicated interest to come out. I think they mentioned about 7 or 8 states. So the IGP has directed them to commissioners of police in charge of this basis. And let me quickly drop this, that the conditions, not conditions per se, the details we requested for is not as rewriting the constitution or wants them to come and seek permission from the police. No. We actually want to know how we can provide adequate security for those who are indicated interest to protest, so that we'll be able to deploy adequately. This will allow the police to gather more intelligence and to even monitor the activities of these protesters, to provide adequate security for them, not to infringe on their rights, and not to allow any criminally minded individual to infiltrate the protest. So that's what we had today at the Force Secretaries, and we've been engaging people, various groups, particularly from security sector. The IGP had a meeting with heads of our military agencies, security agencies today at the force sector, so that we'll be able to operate and be on the same page to have standard operating procedure that will guide our deployment and our operations. That's what we had at headquarters today. And so far, so good. We don't envisage any problem for this particular group that has indicated interest. We have not received any letter from any other group showing interest to have any protest anywhere in Nigeria. Apart from this group represented by Mr. Emolu and Adegboruwa, SAN, and this is the only group we have known so far, and we are interfacing with them.
All right, so what happens to other groups that maybe you haven't interfaced with yet and will still choose to be part of the program?
We don't know those groups, and we may not be able to provide any security for them because, so for now, I think they are faceless. Those who are actually serious to carry out protests, to drive home their demands, should not be faceless. They should not be ghosts. Like what we have today now, we have known these people, and we know they are prominent Nigerians, reputable individuals who are very important to us in this country. We know that these people are known, and of course they've been organizing protests for more than, like FF now, that's Femi Falana, has been organizing protests for the past 40 years. The same thing by Learned Sikh, Ebun, Adegboruwa, all of them prominent people that we know. But if you say you want to have a protest, you want to drive home certain demands, and you are hungry, you want to do this, if you don't want to work with the police, which means you have an ulterior motive, perhaps you are planning to foment trouble, or to jeopardize our security architecture, or to run down the government. There's no need for you to run away from the police. Like we have interfaced today.
But I'm sorry. I'm sorry to come in, but I mean, won't you also want to say that to a large extent it might border around the issue of trust?
What is the trust there? Are we going to arrest anybody or even virtual meeting? When the people opted for virtual meeting today, IGP did not object. You can find out from there. IGP was there throughout and he engaged them. So they could have done the same thing. If you don't have trust in the police, who are they going to trust? Of course, you know, when we have a protest and you want to do something like this, of this nature, where Nigerians are going to be involved, and to cross across length and breadth of the country, you want to run away from the police. So it is to me, whoever that wants to stage any protest, and not till now such a person or group is not known to the police, we need to fear such a person or to be afraid of such a group. Because I want to have that belief that they are not out for any good in any way. For the sake of the people we are trying to fight for and ourselves, any group that wants to come out to protest by now should have been known to the police. If you don't know you, how do you relate with you? People have been showing interest maybe in various commands, but at the force headquarters, we have known and been able to identify one group because the group wrote to us and we responded. We even called for a meeting and they have responded. We had a very good deliberation today.
All right, now you said part of what was discussed in that meeting has to do with designated places. The group was requesting that they opt for street procession, but you said what was suggested is that they used designated points. What are these designated points?
It is their letter. It's in certain states where they mentioned like 8 states, they indicated where they actually want. But I know that the IGP was able to tell them to liaise with commissioners of police in these states. Because the IGP is in Abuja, it's not on the ground in all those states. The best officers that can handle this are the commissioners of police. And Ms. Learned State promised to get across to them, and I'm sure they are actually interfacing with these respective commissioners of police. This is what we call organization. This is what we call leadership. You see the Learned State has been up and doing and is updating Nigerians, updating the police and other security agencies. So we know that they have where to go, and the only thing the IGP pointed out to them was, and it's a piece of advice, that for you to be able to manage this procession or your trade, so that people will not infiltrate. We have seen cases where when you move, you have your own route to follow, you have your destination, you have your mission. There's no how. There are some places in Lagos in Rivers, even in Abuja, that when your movement, your procession passes through, definitely some hoodlums will join you. So we're only trying to advise them so that there won't be any issues at the end of the day. Where we have destruction of property, where we have harassment, and of course infringement on people's rights, the law enforcement agencies will not hold their hands. But when we know that we have designated places and you are confined to a particular place, we can cordon off the place to protect you, do whatever you want to do because you have indicated that individuals who address a crowd there, they are dress protesters. Fine. We are only trying to guide this so that people will not infiltrate, criminal-minded elements will not infiltrate and cause problem, even for the organizers.
All right.
So we have seen cases where organizers will have genuine reasons. They want to move from one point to another. During the answers, in the state, people, minded elements, the movement, they were filling their phones. With the current cases, I was the PRO in Lagos State when we had answers. So it's not a mere say, an air say. I actually was on the ground and I monitor everything. I was totally involved in the protests in Lagos State. So we noticed that people were going to come out to capitalize on movement or protest like this, to carry out their ulterior motive. We need to fight against.
Anyway, talking about security concerns, part of what the IGP did say during the press briefing is, in his words, we confirm their fears are genuine, as we have credible intelligence on foreign mercenaries' involvement in the planned protest. The Nigerian police urge all Nigerians to exercise caution and think twice before joining any protest group. I mean, the word for me is foreign mercenaries. Who are these people? What do you know?
When you get to the bridge, you shall cross the bridge. Our job, our duty as a responsive security agency, particularly the police, is to have social responsibility. A part of our social responsibility is to make sure we advise Nigerians accordingly. We have gathered intelligence. We are not working alone. Nigerian government has a very viral and active intelligence community in this country. We have gathered this intelligence. You don't expect me to reveal certain things in a public domain like this. But we should be able to guide our people, to advise them accordingly as part of our social.
I mean, you can at least give a hint of where they are from. Are they from Africa? Are they beyond Africa? You know.
If you want to join our intelligence community, I will give you ID
I
card
think
so that you can get more information.
I think it's okay if Nigerians at least get to know where they're from. Maybe
I will not be able to tell you that now for real. But the fact is, we have, as we are speaking with you, we are still gathering intelligence. We are intercepting intelligence, and we are intercepting communications. All our intelligence units in the police, in the DSS, intelligence, and some of them are walking around the clock.
Have you arrested anyone yet?
When we arrest and whatever you want to update Nigerians on, we will do that. Of course, if you have any press briefing, we will continue to address Nigerians and update them as events unfold on a regular basis. So the information and intelligence is clear enough, it's actionable enough. At least we have seen that we have been arresting those who have been issuing out threats concerning this protest. In particular, one Yakubu was arrested in where he went online to be telling people, trying to hit off the polity by saying they are going to burn down police station, they are going to burn down public assets and what have you. He has been arrested, and many others like that have been arrested. But he would not want me to be telling you now that these are the people who have done this. We have gathered intelligence. We are working our intelligence to make sure people like this don't come to Nigeria to foment trouble. Tomorrow we can call the media again to give them updates. We will continue to address the media on a daily basis so that we can update Nigerians of certain development. So for intelligence, is our duty to make sure we advise Nigerians where necessary and when necessary. This is what we have done. We will continue to do so that we will not have anarchy in this country. We cannot afford have any protest in Nigeria again. No. We had answers. It started well. I was in Lagos. I was part of the movement. On October 7 or October 8, 2020, set of people who were the organizers of answers to the command headquarters in Ikeja. This is nearest street. They came, Ricky was there, that active lady, and one man they could do me, those that we used to do struggles together when I was in the school. They came and they restricted their request, their demands for the Commissioner of Police in Lagos State, Hakeem Olusegun Otumosu. So they went to Alausa to go and talk their demand. They did not go to the streets. And they want problems, they want protests, they want this. In fact, we had 6 or 7 days of free protests, violent free protests in Lagos answers. Until we had I think on the 8th or 9th day when we put another dimension into answers when they started attacking the police and burning houses before it became
all right, Mr. Adejobi, all right. I mean, because we're pressed for time, I would want you to watch a particular video. I mean, you were talking about a protest and people having that constitutional right to peaceful protest. But a certain video has been making rounds on social media. I would like you to watch that video for a moment, and then we'll come back and get your reaction on it.
Ẹni tó bá tó bẹ́ẹ̀ tó bá ti ká tó ṣe àdáyé protest àríyá ẹni tó bá ti tó bẹ́ẹ̀ tó bá ti ká tó ṣe. You said don't go to threaten.
As I am Megan.
You say if you get mad, make you come outside say you want to. These are not threatening now.
That particular video, is a market in Lagos. I want to believe maybe you've seen it, where some individuals or some characters, are addressing people saying, if you have the mind or if you're strong enough, come out on Thursday and protest. I mean, it's every Nigerian's constitutional right to protest. But these individuals are threatening that anyone who comes out, whatever they meet, would be their fate. I would like to know, have you been able to identify these elements in this video, and what exactly is the police doing about this?
This particular video, I've seen it. I'm very active on X, and my guys always drag me on X. Have tagged me severally, and even Mr. Femi Falana sent it to my WhatsApp line. I have done this, and I've forwarded the same to the Commissioner of Police in charge of Lagos State. I believe every market, particularly in Lagos, is organized. They have leadership. So I think the leaders in this market ought to have taken this matter up. If they have not done so, they should please contact the Commissioner of Police in Lagos State so that the city will be able to do one or two things. Perhaps they know these people because this place is very crowded. Even me, I won't be able to point out or to identify anybody. I'm from Abuja here now. But I think they would good if the leadership of this market can take up this, report to the Commissioner of Police, who is in charge of Lagos State. The IGP has given commissioners of police marching orders to carry out certain things. The IGP has told them to should devise means and have strategies of policing their states and managing these protests personally. So we have seen this video. They have sent it to me, and I think I forwarded to the Commissioner of Police at Lagos State. By now, he must have started doing something about it, and I still want to urge the leaders or the elders, the executive of this particular market, to please get across to the Commissioner of Police. Perhaps they may be able to identify, even they will be able to help the police to identify some of them, because I think they are known people to them.
But I'm sorry, don't you also feel that, individuals coming out to threaten people like that, that poses some sort of security threat?
It's not proper. It's not It's not proper. We cannot dignify what they have done. That's why I said the leadership of the market should be able to take it up, and because with the CP, so that the CP will know what to do.
What if the leadership doesn't take it up? Will the police take it up?
So what do you just identify them? If the police want to take it up, the community, the leaders in the market to be able to help the police, to able to identify these people. It's easier for them to identify these people than police. It's easier for them. You can't see any police in the market square now. That place, this video you played now, I've not seen any policeman there. But I know, I'm sure there's shop owners in that market to be able to identify one or two people. They can easily tell their leaders to contact the commissioner of police. If they cannot get to Ikeja, I think that place, I don't know this location, but I think this place has an area commander who can take it up from there.
All right. We'll come back to you, sir. We need to go on a quick commercial break. When we return, of course, we'll pick up from where we stopped. Stay with us. You're still watching Politics HQ on News Central Television, and we are, of course, discussing the planned protest for August in Nigeria. Still have with me ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, is the Force Public Relations Officer, is joining me virtually. Thank you for staying with me, sir.
Yes, welcome back.
All right. There are, of course, in places like Lagos, for instance, where in certain areas, some traditional rulers are actively advising members of their community not to protest, which I feel is unconstitutional, saying that whatever, eventually, they meet, will be to their own peril. I would like you to react, on utterances like this, because I'm getting at somewhere, because I'm sure the narrative might be different if someone goes around to say, if you don't come out to protest on the 1st of August, you'll be in trouble.
I didn't get that.
Okay, I'm saying that, what do you have to say about people advising and threatening Nigerians to not come out, to protest, which is a constitutional right, given the fact that if the reverse was the case, where certain individuals maybe went from house to house to say you must come out to protest. If you don't come out to protest, you'll be dealt with. I'm sure, I mean, it's a security situation here.
Well, you can't force anybody to do what he doesn't want to. As you have your own right, like always say, when you enjoy your own right, don't deprive people of their rights. So by depriving people of their rights, you are even committing an offense. So you don't trample on people's rights if you are enjoying your rights. That's why we even told those who are trying to protest that when you protest, you are enjoying your fundamental human rights. But don't trample on people's rights by depriving them of enjoying their rights as well. So this is a two-way thing. I think for issues from a particular state, the commissioner or police in charge of that state ought to have input and ought to have called a meeting, maybe town hall meeting, to address. I'm aware many commissioners of police have been addressing people. I know people have been raising issues of counter protests, why we say pro and anti, whatever it is. I know it's going to be a great challenge for security operatives to manage. But the best thing for us to do is to have a town hall meeting and meet at a point so that we can address these issues. It's not good for anybody to threaten someone not to come out or not to do anything. I know some people have been saying people should come out to come and protest, while some are saying, please don't come out and protest. Whatever it is, all I know is we just need to be very, very careful of what we do so that we will not engage in those acts that can actually trigger crisis and cause chaos or brouhaha in any part of this country. The IGP is going to have another set of virtual meetings with commissioners of police and AIGs of their commands tomorrow. So I think this matter will form part of IGP's agenda, and the IGP is going to address the issue now that these issues are coming up one by one. I'm sure the IGP will talk to commissioners of police and their respective assistant inspectors, general police in various zones across the length and breadth of this country. So people should come out, complain against issues like this, threats like this, so that commissioners of police can handle. IGP is in Abuja, we're in Abuja, and that's why IGP has empowered his commissioners of police to take charge of various states and do the needful to make sure that every Nigerian enjoys his fundamental human rights.
All right. Just before I let you go, let's talk about the role of the police in all of this. There are reports that the officers on ground would have body cams on. I would like you to speak on that, and also the issue of the level at which they will be in terms of ammunition. You know, we are seeing videos of show of force, you know, of in some states. I mean, I'd like you to address issues particularly surrounding live bullets. At what level, or what level of, will I say, ammunition will, you know, an average officer on that day be carrying?
Well, we have stages in protest management where we have unlawful assembly. You are expected to address them and talk to them, give them cautionary words. That's what the law says. And you allow them to stay for a reasonable time. The law has not actually stated a particular time for them to disperse. But the first thing you should do is to assess any assembly. If it's unlawful, after that, when you notice that it's becoming riotous, then you give your words of proclamation. You want them to disperse peaceably and continue their normal businesses, any of which you can actually warn again, tell your men to engage them, the use of tear gas or tear smokes. If you don't have riots, you don't use your firearms anyhow. The highest you can use is tear gas. And let me say that we have enough tear gas. The IGP has warned officers not to even use any live ammunition during this period. So we have given out enough smoke. If you warrant where the protest is becoming riotous, we will use tear smoke to disperse any rioter. We don't want to lose any Nigerian. The role of an average Nigerian is so important to us. It's so paramount to us. Don't forget the present leadership we have, either from the Nigerian government, they are Democrats. The president himself is a Democrat. The Inspector General of Police, fine. By virtue of his position as personality as a senior police officer, is a Democrat. So we all
will the officers have body cams on their vest? Will the officers have body cams on their uniform?
Policemen, not all policemen are going to wear body cams. We have those that are going to wear body cams, but now that we have detailed all contingents to have cameramen who can record events. Before, the moment a protest is becoming riotous, we, from our side, we want to capture this, let it be on tape. It won't be as if we are just jumping into the use of force and firearms. Anyhow, if it's not riotous, nobody is going to fire anything. We can always engage protesters, talk to them, protect them, even move when they want to move. But the moment it's becoming riotous, and it's a riot already, we cannot fold our arms to see unnecessary anarchy in any part of this country. We will resist that. This is why we are saying we cannot afford to have any violent protests in Nigeria again. We saw what happened in that police stations were burnt, our arms were looted. Many of them recovered. This one that we have not recovered, they are up to now still in the hands of those criminally minded individuals. They are using these arms to attack security agencies. Just yesterday, we lost 3 policemen in Imo State. They were thieves. And apart from that, where we have these arms in wrong hands, they harass, they terrorize, and they rob innocent Nigerians.
All right.
So if you allow this thing to go wrong again, we are still going to this system of putting our hands to wrong hands, losing our security agencies,
all right,
losing innocent Nigerians. We cannot afford to have anarchy again in this country. We want to appeal to those who want to protest. Please, go with the police, follow our guidelines. We are not depriving you of your rights not to protest. You can protest, but please, we have seen what you have not seen. We have what you have not got. And I'm you. You have been, the government is aware of your demands. All prominent Nigerians are aware of your demand. You have been, all we need to do is just, if you still come out in a place, it's possible for you to avoid.
All right, we need to go, sir.
It's going to do good things than bad things. We want to appeal to Nigerians to please be on the same page with us. We are part of you. We are Nigerians. We are not strangers. We work together to have
All
a
right.
peaceful country.
All right, we need to go.
This country and maintain peace.
All right, we need to go. Thank you so much for your time, and we hope to have you again on the program soon.